and you don't want to make it mad. Hello, this is Buck Mills, former WCW World Television Champion, Johnny B. Bad. It's a good day to be a bad man, but it's even a better day to listen to the American Adversaries. You better listen. Don't let me come and get you, because it's going to be a blessing to teach you a lesson. Don't mess with Johnny B. Bad.
Promo, couldn't he?
I tell you what, Mark Barrow, he's a great guy. All right, welcome back to the show, folks. That's right, you are listening to the American Adversaries Drive Time Prime Time Show, coming to you live on AM 660 The Answer. I am Christopher Hart. We've done a little musical chairs, shuffled things around in here. By the way, I saw this story the other day where some clown had set up a school where they do musical chairs where everybody gets a chair. Well, what's the point, you fools? All right, anyway, thanks for listening to us. I am Christopher Hart, like I said. In the studio with me now is Scott Miller of My Liberty Threads. Scott.
Thanks for having me over.
You're just back off the road.
Yes, we are. Just got back from that Republican leadership conference there in Oklahoma City.
And by the way, folks, if you want to see Scott Miller, go to YouTube, right?
YouTube. That'd be American Adversaries TV.
And he's got the Periscope. That's Lucas Paris with the Periscope up and running. You'll also see Ro, who is your brother-in-law.
My brother-in-law down from Montreal.
How are you?
There he is. All right, Nicholas Cicero's on the bridge. If you'd like to call us, 407-774-8255 is the number. And Scott, of course, is My Liberty Threads. MyLibertyThreads.com is where you can find his T-shirts. They are great T-shirts, very comfortable. Made in America.
Of course.
There really is a manufacturer making shirts in America still?
There are a few manufacturers that make it from the ground up. Even the cotton is grown right here in America. It's grown, sewn, dyed, printed, every aspect right here in America.
Where?
California, of all places.
Is that right?
Yep. Anaheim, California is where we get most of our shirts from.
They finally got something right out there anyway. And by the way, he's got great slogans on them. And one of the nicest shirts, I think, though, has got your logo on it. It's an eagle.
Yep.
And if you look at the eagle closely, it says My Liberty Threads, the wings.
Yep. And what we like to say that our brand was founded in 1776. But incorporated in 2011. Because we take the principles of freedom and liberty and put it in a tasteful way on a shirt that a conservative American would want to wear these days.
Okay, you said you just got back from Oklahoma City. Now, that was the last stop on that little trip, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Where all did you go?
Well, this year has been, we've been in the season in Florida, so we've done country music festivals and biker rallies all over the state of Florida. I got to do a balloon festival in Foley, Alabama.
A balloon festival? You mean like hot air balloons?
Hot air balloons.
Okay.
These shirts work everywhere.
Yeah.
After that, I was supposed to be at an Old Timers Day in Arkansas, but the weather has just been so bad, and there was 90% chance of rain, and it looked like tornadoes. So at the last minute, we zagged, and we went down to Dallas, Texas, right outside of Dallas, in Mesquite, and we did a gun show in Mesquite, Texas. Sold a ton of Ted Cruz bumper stickers, and then worked our way over to Oklahoma City.
You have Ted Cruz bumper stickers?
Yep, we got Ted Cruz.
What do they say?
It's just Ted Cruz 2016. It's the Ted Cruz campaign sticker.
Can people go to your website and get some?
I've got to put them on the website. At the moment, they aren't on the website because I was out of a few of them.
All right.
But I'll have them on within the next day or two.
Can you give me a few, maybe a couple of dozen, so when we do the Cafe Positano thing on the 22nd?
Sure. We've got 4 or 5 of the candidates. I have gone with the more conservative-minded
Who
of the
besides
candidates.
Cruz?
We've got Cruz, Rand Paul, Scott Walker, Ben Carson, and put me on the spot here.
Huckabee, Santorum.
Nope. In fact, maybe I have
Carly
mentioned them
Fiorina.
all. Nope. I guess I have mentioned them all.
Okay.
And we've got the one generic one that just says, not that woman. And that one sold best at the Republican Leadership Conference.
Yep. Which one sells best? We know that. But of the Republican ones, which ones moved the most?
Of the Republican ones, while I was in...
Did you have, by the way, Rubio? Do you have Rubio?
Rubio's the other one. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah,
yes.
All right.
Of the Republican ones, though, it has been a close call between Scott Walker, Ben Carson, and Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz.
Yeah, which ironically, those were the 3 big names, the big winners of the straw poll. They were head and shoulders above the other candidates
in Oklahoma
City. And Oklahoma City it's the Southern Conference, so they actually get people from 14 different southern states, particularly out west. There were people all week long from Colorado, from Texas, from New Mexico. you're getting not just the Oklahomans.
I see. So it's a bigger snapshot, if you will.
Exactly. It was probably about 2,500 people there altogether.
And Carson won.
Carson won. Second place was Scott Walker, and third place was Ted Cruz. And interestingly enough,
and you said they were way ahead of everybody else.
They were way ahead. Everybody else had 5% or less, and those three were between 16 and 25%. And the other three, some of the others, Chris Christie and Jeb Bush, were given the primo speaking spots at the convention.
Right.
Whereas Scott Walker spoke first on the first day of the conference when not everybody was there, and Ted Cruz got held up because of Rand Paul's filibuster at the time on the NSA.
Yeah.
So he wasn't able to come and speak as he was supposed to.
Is there any group or any state that you've been to, and you've been to a number of them already,
yes,
where Jeb Bush is popular?
That's the irony of it all. Not only have I not been to a state where he is popular, the main theme within the Republicans walking around, the everyday person, is that they don't want Jeb Bush. They don't want the combination of not wanting another Bush, but I think even more so, it's not wanting another person that believes the government is the answer to everything. And that's how he is viewed. And
to a certain extent, it's a correct view.
Well, with just his view on Common Core,
yeah.
If he thinks that education belongs in the hands of the federal government and that it'll be run better that way,
right?
What else does he think will be run better if it's in the hands of the federal government? And that gives you cause for concern as far as I'm concerned.
Well, and a lot of other people as well, obviously.
Yep.
What about Rand Paul? How's he shaken out?
He is so polarizing. It's unbelievable. I saw people that I swear, I hate to stereotype, but I could have seen the same guy, a couple people, two guys and one woman, that it just seems like they would have been Ron Paul fanatics a few years ago at some of the functions I were at.
Right.
That were actually, in Ted Cruz's camp right now, that were furious at Rand Paul for this ridiculous filibuster that they thought they thought was ridiculous.
They were mad at
and
Rand.
They actually thought, and he did. This one guy went out of the way to say, "This is just my view, not the view of the booth that I'm working for or Ted Cruz's campaign." But he actually thought that Rand Paul gave that speech just so that Ted Cruz wouldn't be able to get over for the conference. And it's just unbelievable.
Did it hold Ted Cruz up?
It did. They held it straight through Friday until the end of the day, and he was just trying to call light to the fact that they were trying to extend the Patriot Act and try to be able to continue with the data mining.
Right.
And just how against our liberty that is.
Well, at the end of the day, it's a hollow victory. By the way, the Senate did pass what they call the Freedom Act.
Right.
They're basically replacing the Patriot Act with the Freedom. I love these.
Yeah.
It's anything but freedom, right? But the Freedom Act, basically, in essence, they can still what they could used to do with the bulk data mining. It's just they have to go through an extra step or two to be able to do it.
Yes, but at least that extra step involves getting a warrant.
Yeah.
Whereas with the data mining, they wouldn't have had to take that step, and that's a very important part of our Fourth Amendment.
It is, but the warrant that they will have to get will be from one of these secret courts that they set up.
Yes.
So it's a baby step.
Yeah.
If you will, in the right direction. That's why I say it's a bit of a hollow victory.
Agreed.
But at the end of the day, it's a done deal now, and the president has already said that he would sign the Freedom Act.
Right.
So it looks like it's going to be a done deal. I would imagine they will get that done right away, too, so as not to have too much of a time lapse here.
I'm sure. And I heard someone on the radio mentioning, does anybody out there really think that huge building in Utah is going to stop doing what they were doing as far as mining that data?
Exactly, and that's just one little bit of what they do.
Yep.
I mean, there is so much stuff that's going on there, it would boggle the mind, and I'm sure we won't even know about for probably years.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, so, to think that there's privacy, if you want privacy, go at home, go in your bathroom, don't have a TV, a telephone, or a computer, or anything else with you in there, close the door, you might get a little privacy till the wife or the kids come knocking on the door anyway, but it's a gone thing. And of course, a lot of the data mining that goes on is private companies.
Yeah.
For marketing purposes.
And I have more liberal-minded friends or family members that when I brought up to them that this is going on, particularly when Snowden came out, they said, well, Google's been doing that for years. Private company has been doing that for years. Where have you been? As if that makes it okay that the government can do it.
I know it. Okay. By the way, My Liberty Threads is, like I said, they're great shirts. And the hot selling one right now is...
I'll tell you, there are a few different ones. The Not That Woman shirt has been pretty hot.
Okay.
We've got the one that's just steady, the Never Apologize for Being American. That's a solid statement that conservative-minded people want to wear. Now, I learned early on you could put politicians on a shirt and draw a circle around their face and a line through it, and people will stop and laugh at it. But the conservative American walking around, for the most part, doesn't wear that shirt. But you put an American flag on a shirt, and you remind people with a potent statement like, it's we the people, not you the government, right there on the shirt for everybody to see, and that's what people want to wear.
And like I said, these are very comfortable shirts. They come in different sizes. They come in male and female styles.
Yeah, we got some nice stuff for women.
You got tank tops for women?
Tank tops and V-necks. And what's been happening over the last few years, this is turning into a phenomenon. But I travel sometimes knowing I might not come back helping the bottom line. But as I travel to different regions, I've been finding people that decide to buy from me wholesale and start their own business. And it just, on this past trip, we picked up a new retailer out of Foley, Alabama. We've got a guy in New Orleans who I'm in conversation with right now. I found an 18-year-old kid who I actually met at the State Fair in Oklahoma last year, and when he saw on our Facebook that we were going to be there, he didn't want to find a summer job this year. He talked to his mom. She let him take some of his savings. And on my way out of Oklahoma City, I met this guy in Muskogee. I never thought I'd go to Muskogee, Oklahoma.
And he bought some inventory.
And he bought 80 shirts from me, and he's at a flea market selling them this weekend.
That's great.
Yeah, so along the way, we've got about 15 or 16 individuals all over the country now who are out there on the weekends. They've incorporated, they've started their own business, they're really helping grow this into something. And the coolest thing is that there's just the most conservative-minded, passionate people that you'll find.
What if there's somebody listening right now in our audience who maybe would want to do the same thing, buy some inventory and go to the flea market or Renegers or something and so on?
Funny you should say that. Florida, with all the traveling I've done in Florida, we've only got about 3 or 4 of us throughout the state of Florida. And once the season gets going, this is prime parts of the country.
Yeah.
The snowbirds are everywhere, and there's 8-10 festivals a weekend that we could thrive at if we find that right person. There's a lot of information on our website about just that.
What about bike rallies and stuff?
Those are the most fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. The brand was really designed to work across the board anywhere where you're going to find patriotic Americans. So the biker rallies, the gun shows, the country music festivals, general fairs and festivals in conservative America, it works. And
because these are American-made, they're a rarity.
They are, and you put up that Made in America sign, and everybody wants to check it out and see what you've got. So the concept is to gradually morph the T-shirts through the statements and grow it that way until we've got enough people around the country that we could actually turn this into a full-blown brand.
Okay, well, we're coming up on the final break for today, but when we come back, Scott's going to stay with us, and you can join us too, 407-774-8255.